What we're looking at right here is actually our login screen that anybody can see, and it sort of takes you through, there's a video and category management. It takes you through sort of what do we mean. We have the Learn, Connect, Act themes, so learning from experts, connecting to others in your community, and then using that information to act very carefully and using that information to weigh your decisions on how you want to spend your mission dollars. And then going from there, what's in it for me? So we have information on the different solutions, we have prices paid data, and then we also have curated experience and articles. So we're asking people to come join us and sign in. So we have both the federal employee sign in and the non-government sign in. So in the next, by the end of the calendar year, we'll be getting to a public view of the gateway. If you go into the non-government sign-in right now, what you'll see is a series of FAQs around what the gateway is, what our vision is, and what's going on. So here's a signed-in version. What you're seeing on the left-hand side of the screen there are all of the hallways that contain the curated information, the different contracts, the different solutions, and expert articles. In the center, we have the project center, and this is going back to the vision that this becomes the workspace for the acquisition professional. So today, my team is currently looking at buying laptops. So I built a project talking about buying MacBooks for the Gateway team. I uploaded the forms to here, and you can make notes. So this begins to allow an acquisition professional to consolidate all of their information into a single location, and then you'll be able to add in, as we evolve this, you'll be able to add in more the articles, the contracts, everything that you would be thinking of that you would want, and then you can share it with your team. So all of that is forthcoming in the next quarter, next 6 months. So going on this screen, we also have the Solutions Finder, which then takes you to the different contracts. And this starts out with me as GSA, if I want to buy in the IT category. And then if I want to buy in the IT hardware category, it takes me from 149 solutions to 11. And this is what we're referring to as our killer app at this point, is because what the Solutions Finder does is it immediately gives you every agency that has a government-wide contract or a best practice contract that we have up here. And so we have CHESS, we have Connections, Encore from DISA, we have GSA fourth-party logistics, National Integrated Ballistics information, and then we also have where we have them, we have the contracts posted, and we have the terms and conditions, and we have access to the online ordering. So this allows a contracting office. We also can pin these. So if I want to pin Army Chess, it'll then stay at the top of my screen as we go through this. So I know that I wanted to look at Army Chess more closely. So, and then we also have the additional resources such as eBuy Open, Prices Paid, TechFar, and so on. And then on the right-hand side is the Connect to Others, which is the community portion of this. If somebody wanted to buy laptops, what they would do is they could potentially make a project and say, I'm looking to buy laptops, and begin to keep their notes there. They would go into the IT hardware hallway, and what they would begin to see here is the Solutions Finder already targeted to IT hardware. They also can see the community postings on laptops, and so they're immediately seeing a community discussion around the government-wide strategic sourcing solutions for desktops and laptops, as well as a post there and some commentary from EPA asking for the configurations and how do we find them. And then you can see that they're directed to where to find the new configurations that OMB's been releasing. So when we look at, that's the goal of the community, and so that we actually can have that type of discussion. So going back to IT hardware then, what we have on the bottom are actually the curated articles which are coming up still. Come on. Which are coming up that have the guidance. It has the information on the government-wide strategic solutions. It has data center innovation. It has green purchasing. So it has all the information that that either a program person or a CO would need to understand how to buy within the IT hardware category. And we're working on expand. GSA has been owning much of this information to date. As the government-wide category teams are stood up, more and more information will come from outside of GSA. However, we wanted to start the tool and have it populated at this point so people could see the benefit of it. So a CO who's looking to buy that laptop would really be starting with, let me go to the hallway, see what guidance exists, click into that guidance, then look to see, I'll see from the guidance that what contracts they're recommending that I should purchase through. And then they're also going through and actually saying, okay, how do I integrate whatever sustainability requirements there are? How do I understand, how do I build the acquisition plan? How do I do the things that I need to do in order to actually build an acquisition from start to finish? So those types of tools are actually in here all the way through. And so what they would then do is if they wanted, they could actually go out to the transactional platforms that allow for different buying opportunities. So going, the other hallway, the other one I wanted to point out is the professional services hallway that's really done significant work in expanding their market research tools. So what the professional services hallway is doing is actually, they have professional services tools and templates to assist the buyer in understanding sort of how do they even do their government cost estimate. And so that what they've done is built a tool that actually takes all of the ceiling prices off of the GSA schedule and then ultimately allows you to, called the calc tool, that allows you to begin to break down how much would you pay for different labor categories. So if I start out by typing engineer, I go to 6,000 results. If I decide, and it shows me the hourly rate for that engineer. I can also filter this through education level, through where I want them to work, the size of the business. It also shows me all of the contracts and all of the companies that are offering engineers at different rates. And then I can also take that down and get to a senior engineer, which takes me to 100 to 800 results and begins to then affect the labor rates as they're adjusted. So what this does is instead of having to crawl through everyone's pricing information on eLibrary, you're in a very easy way able to automate that and pull together your cost estimate. So this is a key accelerator in helping somebody build strong, good cost estimates and really understand how much they should be paying on through the professional services schedule. So those are those types of market research tools are the ones that we're trying to build in. We also have the things such as acquisition templates. We have and the other one that I would like to highlight is the statement of work library. And so what this does is it gives somebody a starting point for finding a statement of work. We're working to expand this statement of work library concept across all of the categories, not just the professional services category, but this is where with each one of these, our building philosophy is to build very small for a single category and then look to see how do we expand it across the gateway once we've actually learned that it's something that our users want. So these are the different categories that we have, the different breakout of the statements of work for the statement of work library and professional services. So if you're looking for examples on acquisition support statements of work, you filter down to that, and you can see the blurb, you can see how many times it's been viewed, how many downloads there's been, and if you want to download a PDF or a Microsoft Word format. And now you can vote for them. So the ones that you want to raise to the top, vote in favor of, and the ones that you read and you think aren't worth anything, you can vote lower. So it actually allows us to begin to crowdsource the quality of these statements of work in a way that we never could. Previously, the way that we would get statements of work is we'd call up the person in the next office that we knew had actually procured this. So this is beginning to provide a way in which we can share information across the entire acquisition community. And so the goal at the moment, we've really been in a build phase. So we spent most of FY15 really working on putting all the hallways together, beginning to build these tools. And now that we've gotten to this point, we want to get it out there. We want people using it. We want people commenting in the communities and saying, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. in order to be really valuable, you have to be doing this, or it would be great if you could do that. And by giving us that feedback, which is how we build all of our tools, we're actually then able to figure out how to expand this and make it most useful. But we do, at this point, we have our own user feedback within user feedback person on the Gateway team. She's doing between 3 to 4 interviews a week of our users and understanding what their needs are and how do we actually incorporate those needs into the Gateway. We've targeted our primary audience at this point has been the program managers and has been the contracting officers and the contracting specialists. And we're really targeting we've been looking at really the people who want to play. If you think about somebody who always has to have the latest gadget and wants to go and play with it, that's the community we've been targeting because they're going to have more patience. But now we're actually moving into, let's move into the early adopters, the people who are willing to say, I see value in this and I'm willing to tolerate that it's not perfect yet. So you're going to see more and more outreach from us actually targeting that early adopter community.